Oh, test. All right, so this is a second recording because the first time that I record the video and there was no sound for some reason. Not sure why, but anyway, let's do it again. All right, so today we're gonna do a Leetcode question number 49, group anagrams. All right, so the question is saying, given an array of strings, group the anagrams together. You can return the answer in any order. An anagram is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase, typically using all the original letters exactly once. All right, so for these questions, right, it is really important to know what this anagrams is. Okay, so basically, anagram is the words that is the letters of a different words, but then they're using using the same letters exactly only once. For example, um, eat and eight is an anagram because there's one E and there's one A, there's one T, right? This is not anagram because there's one B and there's one C, but even though they have like one A and T in both the same word, but it's not anagram because it's not the same. All right, so the question is asking how can we group that together, right? Okay, so there's a way to do this is that wait a minute, I'm gonna share this on the screen. So a way to do this is that, for example, for these words, right, cat and tag, right? So they're both anagrams, right? But then how can we arrange it into the same group, right? So basically we can create, again, a hash map, right? And then with a key in dictionary like this, right? The important point of this questions to know is that the key has to be kept like this. The key has to be kept as a counted number of each alphabet in as an index. For example, the first one right here is going to be A, and the second one is going to be C, D, E, F until Z. Right, so it's going to be 0, so starting, it's going to be 0 like this, dot, until 0. So we're going to take cat as an example. The first alphabet here is C, right? If C here, so when it sees C here, the first letter is going to count here +1, right? And when it sees A here, it's going to count here +1, right? And when it sees T, let's say this is T, it's going to put here as +1, right? And then when it goes to the next words, right, here for tag, right? And if this array is the same, it's going to belong to the same key. And when it belongs to the same key, you can then append that word, these two words, right, into the same values as a list, right? Here it's going to be cat, and that's going to be tag, right? So for different words, let's say bat is going to have another set of array with different code. For bat, it's going to be 0, and here's going to be 1, right? Because here is B, and here's also BAT, right? And that's going to be T, but C is going to be 0, right? So another group of anagram of bat will be kept in this key, right? All right, so now that we get the logics, right, of how to group the anagrams together, then let's move on to the coding parts. Okay, so here at first, right, we need to think about the data structure that we need to keep the list of zeros, or I mean the list of alphabets, the list of counting the alphabets. And so I'm going to put here key, right? It's going to be a list of counting. So it's going to be a lot of zero. It's going to be 0, right? Times 26 because there, because basically there are 26 alphabets in the English letters, and the value here is going to be a list of words, right? So list of words like cat and tag is going to belong the same one, and some other words is going to belongs to another category, right? Oh. All right, so now that we know this for sure, definitely we need to create a dictionary, right? So we need to create a dictionary called, I would say, count words, count letter. I know I'm so bad at naming stuff. Collections, right? And default. And here, be mindful here. We need to store it as a list, right? Because here is because the value here is a list, right? So once we get that, and we surely need a rest as an output, right? So we need an empty string, sorry, an empty list to return the rest. So we need to return rest for sure. And okay, now we need to start to iterate, right? So we need to do forward for each forwards in strings, right? And I'm going to say for each letter in word, correct? And oh, we also need to, don't forget, we need to create an array to count. And count is going to be an array of 0 list and times by 26 for those English alphabets. Alright, for letter in words, right? So here we need to group it as a list, but then how can we do this? We need to make use of this function called odd, right? It's going to be letter minus odd a. Okay, so that's going to be so count letter count increment by 1. Okay, so I forget to tell you, like, what is this function do? Odd function means it's gonna decode, right? Okay, so first we need to know that in each letter or each each typing in ASCII or American Standard Character 2 system, there's always an encoding, and decoding means, like, let's say for alphabet A, there's always a letter that is assigned. So maybe A is equal to 52. I'm not sure what the actual number is, but there's a number that's being decoded to it. So A2, and so B is equal to 53, right? So by using this function odd, we're gonna convert from, let's say, odd A, right? We're gonna convert the alphabet A into like 52, like this. And yeah, and then by using this, right, odd letter, we're gonna find the number of different, the difference number between the letter and A. Okay, for example, if the letter here is B, and let's say the B is 53, right? And it's going to be minus A, which I assume is 52, and that's going to be 1, right? And this one will be shown as the index value inside this count, right? So then we can actually assign the index number 1 and count that, okay, there's a 1 letter number B in this array, right? Okay, so now that we do this, right, let's 1, so that we get count, and then once we get count, we need to insert count letter count, right? And we need to append the word. Okay. And after that, we need to iterate for anagram in count letter and count letter values, right? And we need to append res.append anagram. So that's it. That should give us the answer. Okay, let me check the mistake before I submit. Okay, count letter, count letter, count letter of values. Okay, just here. Okay, this is going to be the time. Oh, by the way, this is going to be the time complexity of the ON times OM, right? Because that's going to be ON, the big O of N, and that's going to be the big O of M. So in the end, it's still going to be a time complexity of ON. Okay. All right, I'm going to submit this and see. Oops, unhashable type list. Okay, so I made a mistake here. So here I forget that count right here is an array list that is mutable. It means that it can be changes all the time, right? But here is a key, right? You assign count to the key here. So key, as a key, you can't, the key has to be immutable. So you need to convert that into tuple first, because tuple is unmutable. Okay. Let's do it again. And that's going to give you the correct answers. All right. Okay. Thank you for watching.